going to be the Sending Cheer bundle with you. And hopefully our video will stay here. It's told me it's trying to reconnect a couple times. So hopefully we'll be good now. If not, I will reset and start again. But this is the Sending Cheer bundle. And if you have been following along this week, I have already shared a couple of projects and fun things using this set. So the bundle includes a stamp set, and there are some fun images and greetings in here. This set is meant more for gift giving. So you can use it to make tags. You can use it to make little gift packaging things, but you know me, I love to make cards, so that is what I've been using this set for. But I have some fun ideas to share with you today. And then there is a die set also, and this is a lot of fun. So some of these dies cut out images in the stamp set, and they even create them to be tags right away. So you can trim this part off and just use the image on a card, or you can use it as a gift tag. I don't know about you, but in my family, there are so many gifts and the tags and the paper just get ripped right off. So I don't spend time making handmade gift tags, but maybe when I'm giving to older children that won't rip them off and they'll care a little more, then maybe I'll spend the time doing it. But that is another reason why I use this set for cards. I also love some of the standalone dies in this set. So there's a Santa hat. And then this is some of the white fluff that goes on the top or bottom of the hat. You've got, these are like the heel of the stocking. The little hearts are really cute. And then you can add a bow onto the gift instead of stamping it. And I've seen this done with some of our sparkle papers, and that is really, really pretty. And then here's another, that's the top of the stocking if you wanted to just do a plain top, or you could use like the fluffy cotton for the top of your stocking too. And then these little hearts can be buttons on the gingerbread man, or just little embellishments for whatever you're making. So that is kind of fun. The other thing I wanted to point out about this bundle is that right now it is part of our last chance sale. So the bundle price is $53, but if you are purchasing the stamps and dies, do not purchase it as a bundle because they are on sale separately, and you'll save a lot of money this way. The stamp set's on sale for $14.40, and the dies are on sale for $21. So if you add that up, it comes to $35.40, which is a whole lot cheaper than that $53 price. So it's a great deal right now, and I think it is a fun set to add to your collection. All right, I am going to share 3 projects with you today. Let me bring them in and give you a little bit of a sneak peek here. These are 3 cards today, and if you place an order with me this week today through December 5th, which is Tuesday, if you spend more than $40, I will send you a card kit to put together these 3 cards. I just include the paper pieces and the die cuts. I don't include the embellishments or the ribbon. You can use whatever you have at home. And the stamps too. You can substitute something you own, or maybe you want to add the Sending Cheer bundle to your order. But if you do spend over $50, I am going to include a package of the iridescent adhesive back discs that I'm using on the cards today. And in that case, you could just use those. So those I would send separately, but you could use them on your cards when you get your card kit. So that's kind of fun. I do have the host code here, but when I'm done, I will put a shopping link in the description that already has the host code attached, so that'll be really easy for you. So we're going to start with this card today, and this card kind of has a fun surprise at the end. So stay tuned for that, and hold on, I just dropped a piece of paper on the floor. Things are flying out of my envelope before I'm ready today. I had to keep my little surprise for the end off to the side so you didn't see it. So that's why things are going flying. Okay, the paper that we're using today, the pattern paper, is all from the Berry Cute Designer Series paper. And it is such a fun paper. So you probably saw me use it a few weeks ago when we did the Berry Cute bundle, but we're using it again today. So if you are following along, I am going to share all of the measurements during the class today, If you make an order of any amount this week, you will get the PDF tutorial sent to you also. And that just has everything written out along with pictures. But like I said, I'll be giving you the measurements today, so you can follow along and copy at home if you want and watch the replay again later. So we're starting with a thick white card base that measures 5.5 by 8.5, and then I scored it at 4.25 so I could fold it in half. Then I have another piece of basic white, and this one is 3 by 5.25, and I embossed this one with our Snowflake Sky embossing folder. This has probably been my most used embossing folder out of our holiday catalog this year because snow goes very well with Christmas and holiday cards, I think. So this one I'm going to just lay down with my Stampin' Seal plus on the left side of the card. Then I have a piece of real red that I have die cut with the deckled rectangles dies, and this is the second largest die if you are copying this with your own supplies at home. And then I have a piece of that very cute designer series paper, and this piece measures 3 by 4 3/8. So I'm just going to lay that down flat with my Stampin' Seal plus also. Okay, now here's the important part. Before we attach this to the card, we are going to wrap the ribbon around. So today I'm using our silver and white sheer ribbon. I love this ribbon so much. You know, in our online exclusives, we had the white glittered organdy ribbon. We've had it around for a while, and it switched to online exclusive with our last catalog, and that was kind of my go-to ribbon. And I just discovered this week that it's gone. So our online exclusives are always while supplies last, and sometimes they restock them and sometimes they don't. And it looks like they are done restocking this one. So I cried a little bit for that ribbon because I loved it. But I think this might be my new go-to ribbon because it goes with anything, has a little bit of shine, and I need something to replace that white glittered organdy ribbon because it was my favorite. Okay, so now that I've got the ribbon wrapped around, I can attach this to the card, and I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'll just pop that up. If you want it to be a little bit flatter, you could just lay it down with your glue or your seal. You know, sometimes the cards get a little bulky if you're mailing them, but that's one way to make it a little bit flatter. Okay, next we're going to take this circle, and this is cut out of our soft shimmer specialty paper. This is another one of my favorites. It comes in 5 colors. This is the Night of Navy, and it's 12 by 12, so you get one sheet of each of the 5 colors, and I love it because I love sparkly things. And I die cut this with the deckled circles dies. And this is, there's a lot of deckled circles. This is the 6th smallest. So if you count from the center, the small ones, and go up 6, this is the 6th one. And we're going to attach this with a few dimensionals too. This one you probably do want to stay with the dimensionals because we are going up over the ribbon. And it'll just stick a little bit better if you pop it up over that ribbon. So it can kind of hang off the side over here a little bit, like that. And next we're going to do some stamping. So I have found with the gift in this set that it is easier to do the die cutting first and then the stamping. And the reason for that is you're adding this piece, and I just had a lot of trouble figuring out exactly where the die was. So I decided to try die cutting first and then stamping, and I had a lot more success with that. So that is what we're going to do today. So for the gift, I'm using real red ink. And I forgot to bring my foam mat in here, but this set is one where you'll want to have your foam piercing mat underneath because the images are a little bit larger. And with the photopolymer stamps, it just helps you get a cleaner image. So hopefully mine will turn out okay without that today, but I forgot to grab it. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to set that off to the side. And then we're going to do the bow next. And for the bow, I am using Night of Navy ink. So we'll ink that up. Move the ink out of the way for a second so I can eyeball this. It is clear. Sometimes it's still kind of tricky to see, but try and get it lined up pretty well. There we go. And then I have the little sentiment for you. And this is just a tiny little piece. You could fussy cut this and stamp on a scrap, but if you want to measure, it measures a 1/2 inch by 1 1/8 inch. And my stamp is hiding over here. There we go. And I'm using Night of Navy ink for this also. Here we go. Close our ink so we do not make a giant mess. Okay, next I'm just going to finish attaching everything. So I'm going to use some dimensionals on the gift again. Gotta break out a new package. I'm not gonna use, I do cut the edges off of my dimensionals, but I won't make you watch me do that right now. So I'm putting this a little bit at an angle. And then for this, it's going to attach to the present. And then since the present is popped up with dimensionals, I'm just going to stick one on this side and then put a little seal on this side so it sticks down to the gift. And you'll see, I think I did that on every card today, where I did a little seal and a dimensional on the same thing, just so it sticks where it's supposed to. All right, so you can put that wherever you want along the side. Here we go. And then we're going to finish off with a few of our iridescent discs. So again, if you spend $50 using my shopping link this week, I will send you a free package of these along with a card kit for today. I love these iridescent things. Shiny and sparkly things are my favorite, if you didn't catch that yet from the other things I've said today. So I'm just kind of mixing and matching some of the colors, using some of the white and the red ones, like that. Now, we're not quite done with this card yet. So it says for you, and it has a bunch of gifts all over the front. So I thought you need to include a gift with this card. So we're going to open it up, and we're going to make a little gift card pocket. Now this is super easy because I'm just using one of our classic gift card envelopes. I believe they come in a pack of 20 or 24. You get quite a few, and they are sized perfectly to slide a gift card in. So I thought this is a great thing. We can just stick this in, and you can include a little gift in your card. I also cut a matching piece of the Designer Series paper for the envelope flap. It measures 1 3/8 by 2 1/4. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on my flap, and we'll stick that piece of Designer Series paper on. And then we'll just use our scissors to trim around the edge, and then it will coordinate with the front of our card. Now, if you wanted to, you could use some of the other stamps in this set. There's one that says Open Me, so you could stamp that on the envelope. That would be kind of cute. Maybe I should have done that. If you don't like writing a big message inside of your cards, instead of putting it on this side, you could put it on this side, and then you wouldn't have to write too much. But that's totally up to you. Now, you could use your Stampin' Seal Plus to adhere this in the card. I want to make sure it stays really well, so I'm going to use some tear and tape because that is one of our strongest adhesives. You could also use our multi-purpose liquid glue. That's pretty strong also. But just something so that envelope will stay in there. I believe these gift card envelopes are only like $6 too, and maybe they are part of the sale too. I did not double check ahead of time. But like I said, you get quite a few. So if you are a person who gives a lot of gift cards, I highly recommend adding those to your order. And there is a little closure here, so you can tuck this in after you stick your gift card in. Might be a little tricky. Or you could just put a little bit of adhesive right there too and stick it down once you've got the gift card in there. So there's that one with that fun little surprise inside. I thought that was cute, and the gifts in this designer series paper worked really well with the gift in the stamp set. Okay, moving on to our second card, we are going to do the cute gingerbread man. And this one is a little bit of a fun fold, not too much, but it's a little bit different than just a regular card. So for this one, I have a thick white card base again. This one I did cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. But then before I fold it in half, off of one side, I cut 1 1/4 inches off. So that's going to be the front of our card. So it folds like this. And then this is another piece of the Berry Christmas Designer Series paper. And this one measures 1 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to lay that down, and as you see, it's actually going to be on the inside piece of the card. So what I did is I closed mine because it kind of fits in the center. So that way you have another edge to kind of line it up with. You could use just these 3 edges, but if you lay this down, then you can see that it's even all the way around. Then I have a piece of Misty Moonlight. This one I embossed with one of our Basics 3D embossing folders. That is another online exclusive product. It's 3 embossing folders, and I use them all the time. So I highly recommend those too. Get them before they disappear like that white glittered ribbon, right? So this piece measures 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And sometimes your seal does not like to stick to the embossed pieces as well. That wasn't too bad though. So we will adhere that there. Then I have a vellum circle that I punched out using the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. And what I want to do is attach it with dimensionals, but I don't want it to attach to this side because I want to be able to open up my card. And I also don't want the dimensionals to show through. So I'm kind of going to put them just in the center where they will get covered up. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is put it right on here. So that way I make sure that I don't go off onto the other side of the card. And then they'll get covered up by the gingerbread man and we will not see them. So we will lay that down like this. Then I have a piece of white, and this is another one where you would want the foam mat, but again, I forgot mine today. So hopefully it'll stamp okay. Now, did you see my post earlier to vote if you liked pecan pie or copper clay for the gingerbread man better? Pecan pie was the clear winner of everyone who's voted so far. And that's my choice too. Although I was surprised the copper clay has kind of like a rich color to it, and it is a pretty good gingerbread color, I think. So I might have to use that color on another gingerbread card sometime. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my gingerbread boy, man, gingerbread girl. It can be a boy or a girl, whatever you would like. And then I'm going to fill in the little hearts. So there is a stamp with the 3 hearts that fit right into his buttons. And we're going to use real red ink for that. See if I can get them in just the right spot. Even though it's see-through, sometimes you're just a little off. That wasn't too bad. And then before I put the red ink away, I have the Sending Cheer stamp. And this is, I think it's the second smallest circle in the Stylish Shape Size. So we'll just stamp the sentiment in there. Like that. Oh, and we can't forget his face. So his face, I am just going to stamp in Memento black ink. This would be kind of fun if you want to get out your white craft ink, or do some heat embossing in white, and then it would kind of match the white on the rest of him. But if you are short on time or don't want to fuss with that, just use your black and it'll look just fine. Okay, now this one we are going to die cut. So let me grab the dies. Let's see where I set those. It's such a good place. I don't know where I set them. All right, well, I'll get out my die cut machine first. Okay, I don't know what oh, they're on the chair behind me. It's like, there's only so much space on this desk. How could I have lost them? Okay. Now, the gingerbread is one that can turn into a tag. But don't worry about that if you don't want to use it as a tag. I will show you how to fix that after we get him cut out. I'm just going to run him through here. And we'll put this off to the side because we'll need that for our next card. Now I've got everything all cattywampus here. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so if you do like to make tags, this would make some really fun little tags. Or if you need tags for like a little gift bag or something, this set is really fun for that. And I do things like that, like for teacher gifts and stuff. I do some tags for those. But if you don't want to use it as a tag and you just want to use it on a card, all you have to do is take your snips and just trim that tag part off. And then we can use him on the card. Okay, so I'm going to pop him up with some dimensionals also. Like this. All right, and then we have our little sentiment. And this one, same thing, I'm going to put a dimensional on the one side and a little bit of my seal on the other side. Let's see, like that. And then for this one, I'm using a different ribbon. This is from a combo pack in our annual catalog, so it has a thicker crumb cake ribbon that has stitched with white, and this is just real red, and it's really small and nice to tie, and it's good for Christmas. So if you wanted to, you could use this red ribbon or any red ribbon on the other two cards, or you could use the silver and white ribbon on this card. Really, whatever ribbon you have that coordinates. But I wanted to show you a few different ones that I like. And then we'll just adhere this with a mini glue dot. Just at the bottom of our circle there. And then we'll finish off with a few of the iridescent discs again. And we'll use the red ones to coordinate with our red sentiment and our red ribbon. And our red paper. And let's see, I had a third one on here. Oh, I see where it is. It was over on this side. I just put it in the center of that little flower. So, there is that one. Super cute. And it's another one where that paper takes up some of the space if you're not big on writing something lengthy in there. So that is the second one. And now let's go on to our third card. Now this one could be a Christmas card or it could just be a winter card. You have the snowflakes in the background, but you can send cheer anytime. So this doesn't necessarily have to be a Christmas card. It could just be one that you send to a friend during winter to send them some cheer and brighten their day with a handmade card. For this one, I have a balmy blue card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and then folded in half again. This time we're going to use this little stamp from the stamp set, and it could be snowflakes or stars. It kind of looks a lot like the snowflakes in the Berry Christmas paper, so that's kind of fun. And we're going to use balmy blue ink and just stamp some, I stuck my thumb in the ink, so we'll have to be careful. I'm just going to go along the edges, and look, I got some on there already, but that's okay because we'll cover that part up. And I didn't bring my scrap paper to stamp off the edge, so I will have to be very careful. And I'm just going to kind of stamp this randomly up corner. And then we'll do the other corner. And you're just going to kind of put some in opposite corners like that. Can be pretty random. And some of that will get covered up. Okay, then before I close that ink, I have a piece here I'm going to stamp my envelope. And like I said, these larger images, it is good to have a foam mat underneath. But if this does not turn out, there are two sides to the paper. So that's my backup plan. Oh, that worked out pretty well. Okay, and then the sentiment for this one, I stamped ahead of time because we were using red for the sending cheer greeting on the last card. And I am terrible about remembering to bring my stamp cleaner in here. So I figured I would just stamp it ahead of time and then I wouldn't have to worry about remembering that to clean it. So I'm going to bring in my dies and die cut this envelope, and then we'll assemble everything. So this is another one that is a tag, and this is actually a nice size. You wouldn't even have to stamp the envelope. You could just make a tag out of this little rectangle. And I think the sample that I shared yesterday from Stampin' Up, where they used just a few of the dies with other products, I think this was the tag they used, and they just stamped other words in there and used one of the hearts from the die set. And I thought that was kind of a cute idea. Showed you another idea of using these dies that's not necessarily Christmas, so you can get more use out of them, and you don't have to stop using them just because Christmas is done. So I love that. Little cattywampus again. There we go. Okay, so this one, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the gingerbread and just trim off that tag because we're not using it as a tag this time. And now we're just going to assemble our card. So I have a piece of Night of Navy here, and this one is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then I have two pieces of the Berry Christmas Designer Series paper, and they measure exactly the same. They are both 1 1/2 by 4. So we'll just adhere those to our Night of Navy. So I'm going to use my 3 edges at the top. And then if I cut this right, it should line up and have a nice edge on the bottom. Pretty close. There we go. Now before you adhere this piece down, I have another piece of my silver and white sheer ribbon, and I'm going to wrap that around the center where the papers meet. And this time I'm just going to tie a knot. You could tie a bow again if you wanted to, but we'll just do a knot this time. Like that. Trim our ribbon. There we go. This piece I'm going to add to my card with some dimensionals. See if I can get those off. A few are sticking. Like that. See, we covered up our smudge, so that's good. Then I'm going to adhere my envelope, again with a few dimensionals. And then this little heart is cut from the Sending Cheer dies, and I'm just going to use a mini glue dot to put that on. I love these hearts. Can you see lots of projects for Valentine's Day too? You could use the envelope and the heart for that also. I think that would be a great use. This is cut with the Stylish Shapes dies, and I use Night of Navy ink. And this one, again, we're going to put a dimensional on this side and a little bit of seal on that side, just like we've done on the other cards. Like that. And then we will finish off with a few of our iridescent discs again. And these balmy blue ones are just perfect to match our card because we used balmy blue for our ink and our card base and all of that. You can add as many or as few of these as you want to. The more shine and sparkle, the better, I think. There we go. So that is our third card. What do you think? Did you like the cards today? Let's pull them all in again so we can take a look. I think the surprise gift card envelope in the first one is my favorite, but I like them all. So comment and let me know which card was your favorite today. I always love to know that. And remember, if you place an order of more than $40 this week using my shopping link, I will send you the card kit for these 3 cards. And if you spend over $50, I will include a package of those iridescent discs. So that is lots of fun. I have a few more samples to show you. So let me grab those. I did not receive any swaps with this set. Can you believe that? But I have made a few this week, and maybe you've seen them. This bundle coordinated really well, I thought, with the Merry Bold and Bright Designer Series paper. And I shared this card yesterday, a different idea of how to use those gifts on a birthday card. And I just used a sentiment from one of our other stamp sets that is Happy Birthday. But like I shared yesterday, this paper was on our low inventory list, and I checked this morning and it did sell out. So hopefully you got some. It was my most used Designer Series paper out of this holiday catalog, I think. And then this embossing folder is another one that's in that Basics embossing folders pack. That's an online exclusive. So we used the cross-hatching one on this card. There's this polka dot one, and then there's a third pattern that's really pretty too. So that is a fun set of embossing folders if you don't have that yet. And then this was another one with a gingerbread man and the little heart. And this sentiment is from the Berry Cute stamp set. And I thought that was cute with the 2 gingerbread men. And I used that embossing folder again. See, I told you I use that pack all the time. There's also a little sneak peek on this card. The twine and the embellishments are from an upcoming suite in our January to April catalog. It is my favorite suite that we've had in a long time because it's hot air balloons. And the colors are so fun, but the Flirty Flamingo worked really well on this card. So thought I'd give you a little peek there. And then what I am working on this afternoon is designing my Christmas card club. Now, you might be thinking, I'm about done with my Christmas cards. I'm done with Christmas crafting. Why in the world would I want to sign up for a Christmas card club in December? Well, here is my answer. The reason I created this club is because I hate getting to this time of year and trying to figure out, do I have enough Christmas cards to send? Do I need to make a bunch of Christmas cards? Am I going to get them in the mail at a reasonable time? Trust me, one year I got my Christmas cards out at Easter. So I started this club so that I am creating Christmas cards all year round, and then I don't have to worry when it gets to this time of year. I worked on it for a couple hours the other day because I sent a lot of Christmas cards. I was addressing them, and I have plenty. So that is nice. So make your future self happy. Start working on your Christmas cards for next year. This month's cards are going to be gorgeous. So this is kind of fun this month. I am giving you 2 options for the stamp set. So this is the only card I have done so far, but I'm using the Winter Meadow Designer Series paper, that beautiful silver and white sheer ribbon that we used today. And then these are some of our tinsel gems, which are really pretty and a little sparkly. I'm sure you're surprised at that. So your option this month is going to be, there will be 4 cards or 4 designs. You get to make 2 of each. And then I always give my Christmas card club members the option to add on the stamp set or bundle I use. So I'm giving them 2 choices this month. One is the Night Divine stamp set, and then the other one is the Joy to You stamp set. And I know not everybody likes religious cards, so that's why I'm giving you a second option. Or maybe you like both versions and you want to get both stamp sets. That is fine too. So you get the supplies to make 8 Christmas cards every month. It's $39 a month. That includes the shipping. And what you get is usually a half package of the designer series paper, a roll of ribbon, and the embellishment. And then you'll cut your own designer series paper. I include all the card bases and all the punched pieces like this. And then you just assemble your cards and then they're ready to go. I save mine in like a shoebox all year long, and then I pull that shoebox out and they are ready to go for Christmas. So if you would like to make yourself, your future self of next year, less stressed about one thing for Christmas, I recommend signing up for my Christmas card club, and you will be so happy this time next year that you did, and you have so many cards ready to go. So there's my little plug for that. I will put a link for that in the description of the video too, and I'm hoping to finish designing this afternoon and sharing the full sneak peek tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Thank you again for watching. I really do appreciate all of you who comment and place orders and like watching my cards. The support is great, and I'm so thankful for you. And I hope you'll join me again next week. Happy stamping. Bye.